Alors, mesdames et messieurs, permettez-moi de vous rappeler que certaines règles s'appliquent lorsque vous intervenez devant les membres du conseil d'arrondissement. Tout intervenant doit s'inscrire avant la séance du conseil de façon à avoir le droit de poser des questions limitées à 2. Lorsque vous posez votre question, vous devez obligatoirement vous adresser au maire qui préside la séance et non directement aux membres du conseil. Votre question doit être claire et précise, sans préambule. Vous devez être poli et respectueux envers les membres du conseil. Si vous ne respectez pas ces règles, vous serez invité à vous retirer et à quitter la salle du conseil. La prise de photos, de vidéos et les enregistrements sont interdits sans l'autorisation du maire. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to remind you that certain rules apply when you address council members. Each individual is requested to register prior to the council meeting in order to have the right to ask questions, not exceeding 2. When addressing the council, you have to direct your questions solely to the mayor presiding over the council meeting and not directly to any council members. Your question has to be clear and precise without preamble. If you do not respect these rules, you will be asked to retire and to leave the council chamber. Taking pictures, filming, and recording are forbidden without the mayor's authorization. Monsieur André Rodrigue, si vous voulez vous avancer au micro, s'il vous plaît.
Monsieur Rodrigue, ça va bien?
Oui, ça va bien.
Good.
Ça pourrait aller mieux, là, mais
Good.
ça va bien.
Good.
En passant, un côté positif, j'ai parlé avec ce monsieur-là tout à l'heure. Moi, personnellement, les travaux publics, cette année, ça a été merveilleux.
Vous avez raison.
En tout cas,
Merci.
C'est mon choix.
Merci.
La petite question que je me pose, c'est que je suis venu, je pense, au mois de décembre. Vous n'étiez pas là. J'avais demandé mon radar photo au coin de la fameuse église Saint-Michael.
Oui.
Si vous vous rappelez, quand vous êtes venu chez moi,
Oui.
je vous avais montré que 5 voitures ont passé littéralement
Oui.
dessus. On m'a dit, non, c'est trop cher. J'ai
Qu'est-ce qui est
amené
trop cher?
Le radar photo.
OK. Vous n'avez pas demandé ça à moi.
Non, vous n'étiez
OK.
pas là, comme
C'est
je
bon.
l'ai dit. Ensuite de ça, j'ai demandé de mettre une deuxième ligne pour tourner à
Sur
droite.
Pierrefonds.
Non, sur
Sur Pierrefonds, les gens qui viennent de Jacques
Saint-Charles.
Bizarre.
Non, Saint-Charles.
Puis j'ai expliqué pourquoi.
Non, non. Là, on parle du côté sud.
Oui.
Moi, je parle du côté nord.
Oui.
Si vous prenez 2 voies que vous pouvez tourner sur le boulevard Pierrefonds-Est,
Oui.
vous réglez beaucoup de problèmes. La personne m'a répondu, il n'y a pas de l'air à avoir de besoin pour. Le problème que moi,
Laissez-moi juste me placer. Sur
Oui.
Saint-Charles.
Saint-Charles-Nord,
Oui.
vous en venir sur Pierrefonds-Est.
Oui.
Il y a une voie qui a le droit de bifurquer sur Pierrefonds-Est.
À droite.
Moi, j'ai demandé de mettre 2 flèches, 2 voies.
OK.
Puis on m'a répondu qu'il n'y avait pas nécessairement un besoin. Après ça, quand je suis retourné chez moi, j'ai réalisé, je dis, c'est vrai, il n'y a pas grand besoin sur Saint-Charles maintenant. Quand vous avez des 53 pieds de tourbe qui passent à travers les développements, les vannes de Coke, Pepsi, Naturel, ça passe tout sur Jacques Bizarre. C'est honteux parce qu'ils n'ont pas les lumières à passer sur le boulevard Saint-Charles.
Mais je ne sais pas si c'est ça la raison pourquoi les gens passent sur Jacques Bizarre. Honnêtement, je ne peux pas vous dire.
J'ai aucune idée.
La raison pourquoi, je ne sais pas, je vais laisser M. Gignac répondre un peu aussi, mais je ne sais pas si le dossier a été étudié par le comité de circulation.
Moi, ce que je demande,
Oui.
là, si c'est possible, vous avez des fameux fils
Oui,
électriques pour
Oui.
pas contrôler, mais
Oui,
savoir
oui,
combien il y a de
oui.
trafic.
Oui, oui.
Parce que vous n'étiez pas là dans ce temps-là, mais je pense que c'est M. Morin ou même McDonald. McDonald qui était ici le maire quand on est
Ben,
arrivé.
ça fait des décennies, monsieur.
Oui, je le sais, mais
Ça fait
on
des
avait
décennies.
promis, avec preuve à l'appui,
Oui.
que si jamais Jacques Bizarre était ouvert,
Oui.
le peak period tombait de 7 000 à 9 000 voitures à l'heure.
Regardez qu'est-ce que je vais faire. Je ne sais pas si vous avez déjà écrit à l'arrondissement.
Non,
Vous allez m'écrire.
je vous parle.
Vous allez m'écrire un paragraphe. Mais entre-temps, on va travailler le dossier. Madame Monsin est dans la salle. Elle va vous donner ma carte. Vous allez m'écrire. Et là, qu'est-ce que je vais faire? Je vais présenter le dossier au comité de M. Gignac. M. Gignac, ce n'est pas juste M. Gignac qui l'étudie. On a l'SPVM, on a le CIM, la Sécurité d'incendie de Montréal, on a les citoyens, on a d'autres aussi qui sont autour de la table, les experts, Jean Santé, entre autres. Puis, tout le monde étudie le dossier. Il vérifie le nombre d'autos, la vitesse, l'heure durant la journée, etc. Et avec ça, ils reviennent au conseil avec des recommandations. Maintenant, je sais de qu'est-ce que vous dites, parce qu'on a déjà parlé de d'autres choses sur Jacques Bizard et Pierre Font. On a parlé aussi de Pierre Font, je me rappelle très bien, sur Pierre Font en allant sur Saint-Charles, direction sud. Pourquoi on n'avait pas une deuxième ligne pour...
Ça, je
Et vous avez compris pourquoi,
Oui.
parce que c'est pas clair. Les gens
bouton.
qui viennent de
Oui.
l'ouest, c'est pas visible. On n'a pas la visibilité qu'on voudrait.
Oui.
Maintenant, c'est ça que vous allez faire en premier temps. M. Gignac, il va le mettre sur l'agenda du prochain comité. Et là, avec les experts autour de la table, ils vont étudier les mesures qu'on peut prendre dans ces secteurs. Au niveau de vitesse sur Jacques Bizard, dans n'importe quelle rue, en fait, la raison pourquoi on a beaucoup plus de circulation dans les secteurs résidentiels, c'est facile à comprendre pourquoi. C'est à cause de ça. Chaque matin, quand les gens partent de chez eux, soit avec Google Maps, soit avec Waze, soit avec d'autres applications, ils savent comment se diriger dans la communauté pour aller où ils vont in the shortest amount of time. Et là, ils le font, et c'est pour ça qu'on a dans les secteurs hyper résidentiels maintenant beaucoup de trafic. Ce pas les gens qui demeurent là, c'est les gens qui veulent soit éviter Gouin, soit éviter Pierrefonds, puis ils prennent... Vous savez déjà comment ça fonctionne.
Mais quand vous avez 53 pieds de Robert Transport qui passe devant chez vous,
je comprends.
de tout crever les pneus.
Et je suis d'accord avec vous. Et c'est pour cette raison, monsieur, Mme Monson est dans la salle, vous connaissez Mme Monson déjà.
Oui.
Monsieur Gignac, il va
Oui, lui, je le connais.
étudier, je ne sais pas c'est quand le prochain comité. Fin mars. Si vous êtes capable de nous écrire cette semaine, je vous assure qu'on va mettre ça sur l'agenda de fin mars pour que les services et les experts étudient le dossier. D'accord?
Okay. Il y a aussi la police, là, comme j'ai parlé à lui. Là.
Bien, la police est là autour de la table aussi.
Mais moi, je me demande combien de policiers qui demeurent à l'île Bizard.
Mais regardez, l'SPVM, on connaît tous les ressources limitées. Vous savez déjà.
Okay? Je connais du profiling aussi.
Mais je vais vous dire que l'SPVM est autour de la table aussi. Mais l'autre chose, vous avez entendu ce soir qu'on a fait comment on dit ça? On a posé un geste envers une école et une communauté ensemble avec l'SPVM et les directeurs, la directrice de l'école. Parce qu'on avait un problème et là, on a embarqué tout le monde ensemble puis on a envoyé un document aux parents. Maintenant, si ça ne change pas, la police va être là. Et c'est la même chose dans les secteurs comme votre secteur et d'autres secteurs problématiques comme on a un peu partout sur le territoire. C'est sûr que la police ne peut pas être partout.
Non, mais j'avais déjà parlé à 2 officiers de police du poste 1 qui étaient en train de jaser avec un policier du poste 4. Puis j'ai dit, vous ne faites pas de prévention? Il m'a regardé, il dit, monsieur, il dit, nous autres, c'est pas notre rue. Il dit, on n'a pas d'affaires ici.
Mais vous savez que le commandant, finalement, on a un commandant qui demeure dans notre arrondissement.
Il demeure à Pierrefonds?
Il demeure dans l'arrondissement. Et ça veut dire qu'enfin, on a quelqu'un, puis les autres aussi ont fait un travail exceptionnel aussi, je peux vous dire. Mais le commandant qu'on a présentement, il demeure dans la communauté, puis il connaît les secteurs très bien. Et pour ça, et moi, je vais l'appeler demain. Je vais l'appeler demain pour lui rappeler de la conversation que vous avez eue aujourd'hui. D'accord?
Le coin Jacques Bizard puis Pierrefonds aussi.
Je sais.
Non, mais toutes les problématiques qu'il y a là, moi, c'est ça qui me surprend, qu'il n'y ait pas de radar photo là aussi. Parce qu'il y a tellement d'agrévations, ça n'a pas d'allure.
Bien, c'est Sainte-Geneviève un peu plus haut, vous savez.
Je n'aime pas de
Peu importe le territoire, on a un problème
ça
dans
vient
ce
du
secteur.
Nord.
Effectivement. Merci
Qu'est-ce qui
beaucoup.
arrive avec la 440?
Vous savez, avec l'administration de Montréal, ils ne veulent pas la 440.
Oh, mais elle va débarquer l'an prochain.
Bien, on ne sait jamais, monsieur. Merci beaucoup. Bonsoir.
Merci.
Bonsoir.
Monsieur Chris Eustache.
Mr. Eustache, good to see you this evening. I'm just going to ask you respectfully to be a little more brief than we were last month. That's all I'm asking you tonight. Because I know the file. I just want to know what your question is, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Madame Corbet. And Mr. Bays, believe me, I don't particularly cherish coming here, but I'm only here last month and this month because of things that you have said, not anybody else, just
Fine.
you yourself. So,
Are you going to correct yourself, by the way, in what you said last month versus what you said at the school?
of course I am.
Thank you.
Of course I am. Of course I am.
Thank you.
Okay. You may recall last month I was here to complain about comments that you made regarding the transfer of Riverdale High School to Margaret Bourgeois. Okay, this time I'm here to talk about the name change that is being proposed by the school board of Pierrefonds Comprehensive High School.
I don't know of any name change proposed by the school board, by the way, because I was at the same meeting as you were. Mr. Eustace, let me stop you. I was at the same meeting as you were, sir.
I got that written down.
And at that meeting, the school board never mentioned anything about a name change. They said it was an emotional issue.
Yeah.
They said that's what the people in the room, I was there with you, saw that it was an issue that people were concerned about more than anything else. And the school board, what they said, if I remember, and you may correct me, you were there as well, had said that they would leave that to the merger committee to come up with recommendations. And if the merger committee wasn't able to do that, then the school board would have to take a decision. But as far as I remember, Mr. Eustace, and I was there for most of that evening, I don't think there was any mention made on a name change for the school. Right?
You said the key thing there. You were there for most of the evening.
That's right.
And plus that I've read. Anyway, let me just backtrack. I'm going to mention about that meeting in a minute, but what you just talked about for the past 2 minutes doesn't take part of my time, does it?
No.
Because I still haven't said what
1
I wanted
minute,
to say.
but no.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, as you know, there's an expectation that the students from Riverdale that are being displaced will be going to Pierrefonds Comprehensive High School, only because it's the closest school to Riverdale High School. As you are aware, there's been or you may be aware, a governing board resolution from Pierrefonds Comprehensive.
I'm not aware.
You know, well, you are aware now. It's written down. Look at their minutes. And this is only because of the idea that came from the school board to create a merging committee. Now, right away, when you start something in that process, a process follows. So you get a governing board resolution. That's 1. 2, you got letters to the editor written. 3, you have a petition that has over 3,500 comments. And
Respectfully.
Well,
respectfully. No, respectfully. What does that have to do with me here as mayor of the city?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Thank you.
If you give me a chance.
Thank you.
Okay. The 3,500 signatures and people belong to your community about that school. Okay? They do not want a name change. They gave a lot of reasons.
But, sir,
I'm going to
have you heard me say that I want a name change? Have you heard me say that I want a name change? How am I involved in the name change of PCHS when it regards Riverdale?
Could you give me another?
Well, no, I'd like you to get to your point as fast as you can and then ask your question.
90 seconds. And when I ask you the question, I hope you answer it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now, part of the comments are that, and by the way, and the fourth thing, the meeting that was there about 10 days ago, you were there, I was there, and you heard exactly the dissatisfaction about that name change business. Okay. Riverdale students have a choice to go to that school or any other school. We have no idea how many students will be going to, will pick Pierrefonds Comprehensive. Comments have been written that this is going to cost a lot of money for taxpayers because they have to change certain things, a new proposed name, and this is the key word there, a proposed name or names. And what people have basically said is that the board did not follow the procedure properly by creating this merging committee.
What's your question, Mr.
My
Eustace?
question is this.
Yes.
You, as a private citizen, I guess, and as mayor of this community, you have a very loud voice. You took it upon yourself to go against the hundreds of people at the school 10, 12 days ago, 3,500 signatures, a governing board resolution by writing in a blog the name of what you want the school to be.
That I want?
That what you wrote.
What I wrote was what residents have been telling me, Mr. Eustace, and if they didn't want to listen to me, no, I'm going to stop you. First of all, I'm as concerned about this transfer of students because the one element that no one is thinking about here, aside from all the politicking that's going on, whether it's through the school board and I don't know where you want to go with this. The people that have been forgotten in this whole merger, in terms of any communication, sir,
Please don't
is the
tell me
students.
students, please.
Is the students.
Yes, we understand that.
You understand that?
Oh, very clearly.
Do you understand
Very
that the
clearly.
people at Riverdale, when this decision was imposed on them,
Yep.
none of them were consulted, Mr. Eustace? Do you know that? Okay. Well, I'm telling you, my responsibility here is to listen to the citizens. And the citizens that I've been talking to,
Yep.
the majority of them that I know, and I know many of them, and I was on the board briefly at PCHS as well.
I'm fully aware of that.
And so most of them are against any name change.
Exactly.
I know that.
Exactly.
No, but I know that.
But you went out of your way
No, I didn't.
to put down, yes, you did, Jim Bays, Pierrefonds Community High School under
There
one
were
blog.
people that were asking what a name could be,
Well, yeah,
and this was a
it's
name
under
that
your
was
name, sir.
this was a name that was told to me at that meeting. So if
It
that
was-
name was given to me, sir,
It was an idea.
let me finish my discussion here with you, and then we're going to end this because I have no idea.
I didn't ask you the question yet.
Your responsibility, Mr. Eustace, respectfully, a retired teacher who's
Yep.
given a lot of your years and your life to educating the students
Yep.
of our community, and that's commendable to say the least. My daughter is studying to be a teacher, and I understand what's involved in that and what could be in the future. But having said that, the forum, Mr. Eustace, that you are choosing to fight this battle is the wrong one.
It's only because of your comments, sir.
You weren't. I
The
didn't
same
make
as the
that comment when I
last
was.
month.
I did not make that comment when you were here last month, Mr. Eustace,
Last
or the
month you
month
talked
before
about
that, or 2 months
mishandling.
before that. So what I'm telling you is, what I would respect that you do is that you direct some of that energy towards the people that are there to make that decision. And if residents have been telling me things that maybe I'm not hearing from you tonight, that's their prerogative too.
That's
If
right.
there are people that are for or against, that's their prerogative.
This-
I think that the committees that were in place or are in place, along with the school board and the school communities, I believe are the best place to make any decision like that. So I don't understand what your line of questioning or your commenting tonight is.
Is this working? My line of questioning is,
Yeah.
you have a governing board of Pierrefonds Comprehensive saying no. You have 3,500 signatures saying no. You have hundreds of people, most of them saying no.
So then it would be
they
no.
They want this.
So then it would be no.
They want this.
Mr. Eustace.
But then Mr. Bays,
Mr. Eustace, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut you off. No, I'm going to cut you off right now. And exactly, if they have made those rules and are the ones that are involved in that decision making, Mr. Eustace, certainly I believe that they're capable of doing that with no interference by me or by anybody else, including you. I suspect that the people that are in place, who are elected members, I suspect that they're there working in the best interest of both schools and the student body. So I'm going to wait to see what happens, and whatever the outcome is, I would hope that it's the best outcome for the school community, both of them. No, thank you. Next. Mr. Eustace, I have to respect the other people in the room. I have to respect the other people in the room, and I think I've given you enough time respectfully. Thank you. Thank you.
Monsieur Ross Titt.
Good evening. It works.
No, it's a new one. Maybe, last year or year?
Go ahead.
about 18 months ago?
Mr. Stitt.
For the newbies. Last month, I asked you, how did this council, why didn't it have a better oversight over Lavacon, the contractor that is building our library, regarding his alleged overbidding up to 15%? He was charging actually the subcontractors. You denied any responsibility. You said that because of your government had set up the Inspector General and it was caught.
No, what I said was, Mr. Stitt, was that file was being managed by the Center Services in Montreal. That's what I said.
You also
the administration
said
in Montreal.
it was because of the Inspector General, which your CODER administration set up, that caught the alleged fraud.
That's right. The Bureau d'Inspecteur Général was
Right.
created by the previous administration, and the whistleblowers allegedly had that forum to go and present their case. And in that way, that's what was discovered. So as you know, that file was being managed by Montreal. The Bureau d'Inspecteur Général already admitted that there would have been no way of even the city center services to know of what was happening, because this was an internal issue that was going on between the contractor and his subcontractors. So what's your question, Mr.
My
Stitt?
question is, I hinted on the ever-rising cost of the library. So my present question is, what is the cost of the library? The original estimate was $17.5 million. Louis Poulin of APRPR stated way back when that he thought it was $18.4 million, which had become $23 million back in January 20th, 2015, according to the Gazette article. And all of a sudden, it increased up to $24.5 million. That's the number everybody likes, the present number everybody likes to toss around. So my question is, what's the present cost of this library? Does anybody know?
Madame Gervais?
And if you don't know, why don't you know?
Madame Gervais, avez-vous le... We'll get back to you, Mr. Stitt. But you're in the neighborhood
Which neighborhood?
of the 24 million.
24 million?
Yeah.
Because don't forget, the $500,000 was added to oversee Lavacom.
That was decided by Montreal, a decision that was made by the administration in Montreal, that they decided, I believe, at the executive level to put that in place.
The $500,000, the 550,000? That
believe
was
that's what
voted
it
on
was.
here at this council, I believe.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. It was voted on at this council to oversight the contractor Lavacom because you didn't trust him and you
Yeah.
wanted oversight.
Yeah. The money was all coming from Montreal that we
I'm
had
not
to
talking
pass a
about the money,
resolution.
I'm talking about the
We had to pass a
resolution.
resolution in order to have a better control of what was happening at the library. Yes.
Well, obviously it didn't work. The overcontrol didn't work
But
because
what
you
I'm
didn't know
telling you,
about the
Mr. Stitt,
overbidding then,
Mr.
right?
Stitt,
15%.
Mr. Stitt, Mr. Stitt, you can deny the facts if you like.
What facts?
The facts are that the BIG was put in place to be able to identify these types of mismanagements that were taking place in all contracts across the board. And the BIG stated clearly, Mr. Stitt, the file that is being managed by Montreal, there was no way of them, with the safeguards in place, there was no way of them knowing anything because those decisions were internal decisions and agreements made by the contractor and his subcontractors. What I'm telling you, up
Right.
until the point where the subcontractor submitted his work orders, everything was fine. It's after that what was happening or what is alleged to have been happening between the contractor and the subcontractors. So I'm not sure, again,
No,
where
but
you're
the
trying to go to, but it's the administration in Montreal. So maybe I think you should go to the City Council of Montreal and ask the administration, why is it that no one in Montreal, since they're managing the file, knew of this? I think that's what you should do, Mr. Stitt, because again,
Well, you
you're
don't
here.
take any responsibility for anything,
Well,
so
I do.
that's
Well,
why
again,
I'm asking
again,
you. I
Mr.
guess.
Stitt,
I mean, I can
Mr.
ask them
Stitt,
too. I'll ask,
Mr.
you know.
Stitt, Mr. Stitt. That's the last question. And another thing,
That's
if
the last
anybody is to
that's
take,
not a
if anybody is
question.
to take responsibilities, we take responsibility and we assume, Mr. Stitt.
So how come you
let
can't
me tell you,
tell
this isn't a
us how
debate,
much it
Mr.
costs?
Stitt. Mr. Stitt, this isn't a debate. You asked something, you stated something, and I'm responding to it. And my response is, your statement is completely unacceptable. That we don't assume any responsibility for anything. So I'd ask you to retract that, Mr. Stitt. I would ask you to retract that I don't assume responsibility on anything. Okay, so state it. Now you stated it. So before you make Mr. Stitt, before you make a statement like that, please think of your words wisely and make sure when you direct them to me that you're clearly indicating the library. Because if it's the library, what I'm telling you, the library, Mr. Stitt, thank you very much. Mr. Stitt, thank you very much. When it's the library, Mr. Stitt, you know that service is managed by Montreal. And I would urge you to go to City
Off my
Council in
mic?
Montreal.
You turned off my mic?
You turned it on. When I go to City Hall,
I turned it on,
when
yeah,
I go to
just
City
now.
Hall, you can go to City Hall the next time as well.
I can go to City Hall anytime I want.
Anytime you want, Mr. Stitt.
Can I
You
ask
can
my
ask the
second question?
administration.
Can I ask my second question?
Quickly, sir.
quickly?
Yes.
You gave the first guy 25 minutes to talk about the same traffic problems he mentioned 2 months ago, exactly the same thing.
And if you know anything
and now
about
you're
me,
rushing
Mr. Stitt,
Eustache,
Mr.
and you're
Stitt.
rushing me?
Mr. Stitt, if you know anything about me, I've been very lenient and very respectful of everyone that comes to the microphone through the history of me being at this table. So,
Well,
what is your
that's your
question?
opinion.
What is your
That's your
question?
opinion.
What is your question?
My opinion is regarding,
What
my
is your
second
question?
question is regarding snow removal, and especially the lack of putting down abrasives. So the poor people, luckily I'm a senior, but I'm kind of an agile senior compared to a lot of the other non-agile seniors. So either they're staying in their houses, they're walking on the streets and getting hit by possibly cars and trucks. So my question is, why haven't more abrasives been put down on the sidewalks and on the streets, especially during this? I know it's not an easy winter. It's probably the worst in memory. And also, how come the snow is never taken away from the CLSC parking lot? It's been pushed, taking away parking spaces all winter, maybe 5 up to 8 parking spaces. That's
Well,
my question.
The question
Maybe
is
Mr.
abrasives,
Baudouin?
and maybe Mr. Baudouin can answer on top of what I'm going to say, but the abrasives, if I'm not mistaken, we've used almost double the abrasives as we've used in previous years, sir. Not to mention that tonight we passed a resolution for an additional amount that we are allocating for that we continue because we didn't have enough. And if you know anything about the weather patterns that not only in Montreal but throughout Quebec and Eastern Ontario, all of us have been dealing with the same issues. You've been following the press. It hasn't been about Pierrefonds Roxborough. It's been about everybody, Beaconsfield, Dollard, Kirkland. Everybody has been affected.
We got
Let me
one of
finish.
the worst ratings.
Let me finish, sir.
52%.
Let
and
me
at
finish.
all the arrondissement, we got the worst rating along with.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Mr. Stitt, because I'm going to explain something to you and you're going to better understand that system.
Oh, thank you very much.
I will.
Good.
Because out of the 4 times when we were up ahead of everybody, nobody was saying anything. The one time
Oh,
that
yes,
we were
they were.
below,
I remember they were.
The one time that we were below, somebody picked up on it. Let me explain to you how that app works so that you can, next time you go on it, you'll be able to follow it.
I didn't go
we
on
have
it, I read
over
the
100,
paper.
we have 100 over, well, if you would have asked, I would have explained it to you. Over 100 kilometers of sidewalks. We do our snow clearing in areas like our arteries and around sidewalks where we have to blow the snow. The reason why that time we weren't able to do it, and you can ask the administration in Montreal as well, and I've said it publicly as well, not because I like to give excuses, but because it's the facts. And the facts is that we have 2 street scrapers and 2 blowers, right? For this whole territory of 260 kilometers of streets. And when I had machines that were not working, it took Montreal, the administration in Montreal, that you can ask since you have open doors there, you can ask them why it took 5 days for them to come and even look at my equipment before they even replaced it. So that set us back quite a bit, which I told the press, and they clearly understood. So the main arteries are normally done within a day and a half to 2, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Baudouin.
I'm not
4 days it takes a total. No, but this, what you're talking about, Mr. Stitt, is not the snow blowing on the street like yours, for example, where we open up the street. It's the picking up of the snow primarily between the sidewalks and the street when we have that little bit of snow that accumulates. And so what happens is we blow it. And if something doesn't work, one of our 2 blowers doesn't work, especially with the amount of snow that we had, which was the equivalent of 3 major snowfalls, with 2 blowers that couldn't work independently but had to work in a convoy because one wasn't enough to pick up all the snow, so the second one would follow. Once a machine breaks like that, Mr. Stitt, once a machine breaks like that, we're done for a couple of days. And that's exactly what happened. And since all the contractors were working everywhere throughout the island, we couldn't get any more. But we've been told that we will be getting more blowers as of next year. So that's the explanation on that one. Where some boroughs have 8 and 10 and 12 blowers, I only have 2. And my services, Monsieur Baudouin and his team, and my blue collars, who have done, Mr. Stitt, an extraordinary job under the conditions, dealt with an issue at that time that they resolved after 5 or 6 or 7 days, not under our control, but was resolved. And once it was resolved, it was business as usual. But this winter for everybody has been challenging. So I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to explain that.
on the sidewalks. I mean, more even than the streets.
Thank you, Mr. Stitt. I appreciate that comment, and it's noted by Mr. Baudouin. Thank you. Thank you. Est-ce que je peux avoir 15 minutes? Merci.
Merci. Monsieur Élie Abou-Khalil. Peut-être. Peut-être que monsieur a quitté. Monsieur Spoons, tu as?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I live on Jolly Cur. It's just where I live is south of Harry Worth. It's about a 100-yard street. Do you know it?
Yes, very well.
You do. Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, it's pretty neglected. I don't think a city truck has been there in 6 or 7 weeks.
Okay, well, that's not
It
the
is
case.
a 100-yard street that has been 50 yards for, I don't know, 6 or 7 weeks also. Dangerous. You know, it's really a street that's, you know, visible minorities on the street.
What does that mean?
About 90%.
No, but what does that mean? What's the relevance in that?
Different ethnicities.
But what does that
Not-
mean?
not
What-
like this.
Sir, what
Not
relevance
white.
is that? What
Not
relevance
white.
is that?
Not white.
What relevance is that in what you're going to tell me?
I find there's some bias going on the city.
Really?
It's dangerous there. It is dangerous for the kids. There's daycares. It's been 6 weeks since there's half a street to leave to get onto Harry Worth.
Mr.
Okay?
Baudouin?
They are 6-foot snowbanks. Nobody touched them
Mr.
for
Baud-
6 weeks. I have the pictures if you'd like to see them.
No, I know what the street looks
Yeah,
like,
I'm
sir.
sure you
Just like
do.
I know some other streets as well.
Oh, none
we
like
know them
that.
all. Oh, I know.
I
I
haven't
know.
seen
I
any
know.
other
I
streets
know
like
of our
that.
problem. What is your question, sir?
My question is,
Yeah.
why are you ignoring that street?
First
why
of
are you
all-
turning it into a slum?
Well, that's your word, not mine.
Oh, there's
and
police.
I think
Only police go there every week.
Sir, the ethnicity of a different sector, and again, if you know anything about me, you would
I know
never
nothing
say
about
that.
you.
You would never say that. So the ethnicity of a street has absolutely no relevance, and
Really?
I am insulted
find
by
that
you even
hard to
saying that.
believe. I find it hard to believe.
And actually, frankly, it's embarrassing that I hear this. So,
Really?
Mr. Baudouin,
This street
Mr.
is
Baudouin,
embarrassing.
Mr. Baudouin,
That should be embarrassing
Sir,
to you.
as much as I can empathize with some of the streets
I
being
need
in
your
terrible
empathy.
condition,
I need
because
your
it's not only there, we have some other streets that have been problematic.
Oh, sure.
They have been, and you can be as you are right now or not. But what I'm trying to explain to you is, again, the facts. And the facts are that we have some streets, sir, that are problematic. And this is probably
For
another
8
one.
weeks?
It hasn't been 8 weeks, and Mr. Baudouin is going to check
I'll
for
show
me
you it's been
tomorrow.
8 weeks.
Mr. Baudouin, sir, if you make a comment, please let me respond. It can't be a back and forth every second, otherwise we can't communicate. So if you mentioned that and you clearly stated the condition of the street, and I know of others that are very similar to that, as much as I don't want to say it, we do have some streets, like in every community, that are going through a difficult time. We have also dispatched for the last 2 weeks contractors, which we will assume the cost of, that'll cost us potentially, hundreds of thousands of dollars to make sure that we ice break in other areas like we've been doing for the last
Save
2
lives,
weeks.
Sure.
Okay? So, are you done? And so Mr.
Happy to
Baudouin,
meet you.
Mr. Baudouin is going to check, sir.
Oh, you check.
And when he checks, he will make sure he finds out for me, because I'm asking him now, to find out what our interventions have been on the street and when the snowplows have passed. Just to dispute what you're telling me that they haven't been there for weeks, because that's not true. If the street is unkept to the point where you would expect it, I respect that and I understand that. And the teams are trying to keep up with some of the issues that we're having, like in every community. But now that we know of Jolly Cur and your comments on it, Mr. Baudouin will dispatch his teams and we will verify that as of tomorrow and see what interventions we can take. But having ethnicity thrown into this, sir, is embarrassing
You're
and
turning
frankly
it into a
ridiculous.
slum.
Ridiculous.
Thank you.
Ridiculous.
You're turning it into a slum.
Ridiculous, sir. Ridiculous.
Madame,
Ridiculous.
Madame-
Absolutely ridiculous.
Madame Elena Benavides.
Absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Bonsoir.
Madame Benavides, ça va bien?
Oui, ça va très bien.
Bravo.
Je voulais vous poser la question sur les 3003, mais j'ai déjà presque la réponse. 730 000 $ vont être utilisés pour continuer à faire ce que vous faites maintenant. Je comprends bien.
Vous savez, Madame Benavides, que je ne sais pas quand on a fait ça, à la fin de l'année dernière, on avait mis 300 quelques mille dollars en réserve pour la neige. Comme on fait chaque année, en effet. Vous voyez maintenant ce soir un ajout de 130 000
Oui.
pour continuer le travail à cause de la saison puis l'hiver qu'on a eu. Ça veut dire qu'on a doublé, sans aller vraiment dans les détails, juste pour vous donner une idée, en temps normal, on met à peu près, corrige-moi, M. Baudouin, si c'est le cas, à peu près 150 kilos par kilomètre en temps normal, à peu près. Cette année, on a mis, depuis le début, 300 kilos à peu près par kilomètre. Ça veut dire que c'est presque le double. Mais pour ceux et celles qui ne comprennent pas nécessairement comment ça fonctionne, le sel et les roches et tout ça, vous savez, madame, c'est comme une entrée chez nous. J'ai mis la pierre à un moment donné, une fin de semaine, parce que j'avais la visite. Puis là, j'ai mis la pierre, j'ai acheté la pierre de 1/4 de pouce. Je pensais que ça va fonctionner. Puis là, j'ai mis la pierre partout dans mon entrée. Si vous passez voir mon entrée, madame, c'est plein de glace. Et vous savez où sont les pierres? Parce qu'avec le soleil, la pierre a rentré par un trou, comme le sel fait. Si on n'a pas d'auto, si on n'a pas de personnes qui marchent, etc., ça rentre dans le glace. Puis après, avec la température la nuit, quand ça gèle, ça regèle, ça gèle comme une patinoire. C'est exactement ça qu'on a vu cette année, pas sur les rues seulement, sur les trottoirs, un peu partout. Et c'est pour ça que je félicite les équipes de M. Baudouin, parce que malgré tout ça, vous ne pouvez même pas imaginer le travail que ces employés ont fait pour l'arrondissement. En plus, les contracteurs qu'on a embauchés. C'est juste pour vous donner un aperçu de qu'est-ce qu'on fait.
Oui. Je peux vous dire, c'est la première année depuis que j'habite ici que mon tout à l'égout est fermé. J'ai toujours été capable de les garder ouverts, même quand on a eu...
De garder quoi ouvert, madame?
Les tout à l'égout.
Oui,
qui est juste dans... C'est pas chez moi, c'est dans la rue, mais je les garde.
Les puisards.
Les puisards. Toujours ouverts, sauf cette année.
Effectivement.
Même quand on a eu les verglas, j'ai réussi à les garder ouverts.
Oui.
Pas cette année.
Mais effectivement, madame, vous avez, je vais vous dire, je ne voulais pas le dire, mais j'étais la semaine dernière à Nepean, Ontario, avec ma famille, avec mes enfants. Et là, j'ai fait exprès pour aller dans les secteurs résidentiels de Nepean, Ontario, qui est juste à l'ouest d'Ottawa. Vous savez, c'est exactement la même chose, parce que la glace a fondu, la neige a fondu, comme ici, puis là, c'est gelé vraiment 5 pieds du trottoir. Où sont les puisards. C'est exactement la même chose. Mais vous savez, M. Baudouin et l'équipe, ils le font, ils les dégagent, mais pas assez vite ou parce qu'on n'a pas les ressources, pas juste nous, comme n'importe quelle ville, arrondissement sur l'île de Montréal. On est dans la même situation partout. Et c'est pour ça que j'encourage les gens d'aller vraiment sur le site et avoir l'application et de signaler quand on a un problème. Et à ce moment-là, ça rentre tout de suite dans le système. M. Baudouin et les équipes, les communications, l'arrondissement, nous les élus, on sait tout de suite qu'est-ce qui se passe sur le territoire. On peut envoyer quelqu'un pour vérifier si les gens sont disponibles tout de suite. Mais au moins, on a un record de toutes ces entrées. Mais vous avez raison, Mme Benavides, je suis complètement d'accord avec vous. Oui, on a des problèmes un peu partout.
Je n'appelle pas, c'est mon voisin qui a appelé et ils ont dit début mars, qu'ils viendraient début mars. C'est ça qu'ils ont dit, m'ont dit. Mais bon, normalement, c'est que chaque année, ils viennent fin février ouvrir la rue. Ça veut dire qu'ils mettent sur nos propriétés. Ils ne prennent pas dans les camions, sauf devant les entrées. Ils viennent la fin février agrandir la rue. Cette année, ils ne sont pas venus.
Madame Benavides, je vais vous couper. Vous avez tout à fait raison. Et la raison pourquoi je ris un peu, c'est parce qu'en temps normal, on essaye de passer 1 fois, 2 fois par année si on est capable. Si on est capable. Cette année, à cause de la température, à cause des interventions qu'on a à faire, les souffleuses qu'on a, les 2 que j'ai expliquées au monsieur,
c'est ça, j'ai tout
qu'on
entendu.
prenait pour faire l'ouverture de ces rues-là, comme la mienne, dans le fond, on n'a pas eu le moment ou la chance de le faire. Ce n'est pas parce qu'on ne voulait pas le faire, mais on est tous, même j'ai parlé avec les maires des villes liées, c'est exactement la même situation ailleurs, parce qu'on n'a pas le temps nécessaire, disponible pour faire le travail régulier qu'on faisait avant. Cette année, c'est exceptionnel. Mais avec qu'est-ce qu'on a eu cette année, je ne vais pas l'utiliser comme blâmer qui que ce soit, mais on a appris, comme les inondations, on a appris beaucoup avec qu'est-ce qu'on a eu cette année. Puis on va s'ajuster, On a fait déjà la demande pour d'autres équipements l'année prochaine à la Ville de Montréal. On était confirmé déjà quelques pièces d'équipement qu'on va avoir de plus l'année prochaine. Ça veut dire qu'on est en train de, oui, régler la situation actuelle, mais aussi de planifier pour l'année à venir. Parce qu'avec le climate change, comme on dit, je pense que ça va arriver encore. Et ce n'est pas la dernière fois. Ça peut-être pas l'année prochaine, mais ça va arriver encore plus régulièrement. Et il faut s'adapter à la réalité de ça. Mais on le fait, Mme Benavides, puis je suis complètement d'accord, même avec le monsieur, avec sa rue. C'est exactement la même chose dans certaines rues. Pas parce qu'on ne veut pas les faire, mais c'est parce qu'on n'est pas rendu là encore.
Ça va arriver début mars.
Pardon?
On nous a dit début mars.
Oh oui, puis on a la priorisation à faire, mais
Oui,
si c'est
oui,
le
oui.
cas, monsieur Baudouin va vérifier Jolicoeur et d'autres rues problématiques dans ce secteur-là. L'autre problème qu'on a, vous savez, c'est quoi, Mme Benavides? Et je ne veux pas cibler Jolicoeur, votre rue, ma rue, d'autres rues. On a des gens, je vais vous donner un exemple. Hier, on faisait le tassement de neige avec le peu de neige qu'on a eu. Vous savez qu'on a eu la difficulté de tasser la neige parce que les gens étaient stationnés partout sur les rues. La prochaine fois, je vais demander de prendre une vidéo. Juste avec ça, Mme Benavides, est-ce que vous comprenez combien de temps on perd avec ça?
Je comprends très bien. Je
on
les vois, moi aussi.
Et on fait la
comme vous.
sensibilisation avec
Je les
les
vois.
coms, on fait des vidéos, on démontre aux gens comment c'est nécessaire de déplacer les autos, mettre ça dans les entrées. Mais les gens pensent que les entrées sont plus importantes que la rue. Parce qu'ils attendent après leur contracteur, j'imagine. Mais c'est juste pour vous dire, je comprends, madame, qu'est-ce que vous dites, madame Benavides, je suis d'accord avec vous. On a passé beaucoup de notre temps sur le territoire. Je sais les rues problématiques qu'on a un peu partout sur le territoire, mais je vous assure que M. Baudouin et les équipes, ils font le maximum possible pour faire le travail nécessaire. Mais effectivement, ça va prendre un peu de temps, là, jusqu'à temps que c'est réglé.
Ouais, je peux vous dire, pour notre rue, même votre camion qui venait livrer les sels avec les cailloux, il a été pris à l'entrée de notre rue puisque
Of course.
le niveau des glaces était si haut qu'il glissait
Oui.
et il reculait. Donc, je pense qu'il a demandé, nous, on a fait les tours puisqu'on ne pouvait pas rentrer par là, mais je pense que s'il est sorti, c'est avec l'aide
Dans l'entrée, là, vous parlez?
dans notre rue. Là,
Oui.
il ne pouvait pas monter. Donc, il était pris là. Le chauffeur est descendu voir qu'est-ce qui s'est passé.
Vous n'êtes pas seul, Mme Benavides. C'était
Pour
arrivé
vous
un peu
dire
partout.
comme la hauteur, maintenant ça a été réparé, mais
Oui.
la hauteur était
Je sais,
incroyablement, incroyablement haute.
Je sais, et c'est noté, et
C'est
j'empathise avec
Ouais.
vous, Mme Benavides, parce
Incroyable.
que je comprends la situation.
Mais bon, je comprends. De toute façon, je les vois moi-même, les problèmes. Je voulais juste, si vous pouvez nous expliquer les 40-01, je comprends, je l'ai relu 3 ou 4 fois.
Pardon, le 40?
01. J'arrive pas à comprendre, si vous l'expliquez maintenant, mais ce sera déjà fait pour tout à l'heure.
Madame,
J'arrive pas très bien à
Madame
comprendre.
Corbeil, est-ce que vous pouvez expliquer à Mme Benavides c'est quoi le 40-01, s'il vous plaît?
C'est juste que je lis.
Juste en termes légaux, qu'est-ce que
Oui,
ça veut dire?
J'ai relu, et j'arrive pas à bien saisir qu'est-ce que vous voulez nous dire.
C'est le 40-01.
Parce que j'avais le nom de je vous avais pour le 40.08, les frais de parc.
Oui, j'allais demander, mais bon.
C'est 40-01?
J'ai tellement...
Ah, OK. Mais 40.01, il existe à l'arrondissement un règlement de délégation de pouvoir.
Oui.
Un des articles de ce règlement délègue au directeur d'arrondissement le pouvoir de créer des postes cadres. Et maintenant, on ajoute à ce pouvoir qui existe déjà le pouvoir de créer des postes syndiqués, donc des postes col blanc, col bleu ou de professionnels. Alors, c'est la seule, le but de cette modification
D'accord.
réglementaire.
Merci, ça va.
Merci, Mme Benavides.
Bonsoir.
Alors, il reste 2 personnes inscrites, ou sinon, ça prendrait un proposeur secondaire.
Non, on va
pour
les
prolonger.
faire tout de suite, s'il vous plaît. Merci.
Parfait. Alors, Madame Joan Starr, si vous voulez aller au micro, s'il vous plaît.
Bonsoir, Candice. Good evening.
Good evening.
Unlike a lot of people, I'm going to start by saying somebody forgot their glasses. That wasn't part of it.
She would have come back.
I'm concerned because I feel that as a victim of the flooding 2 years ago, nous sommes les orphelins de Desjardins. Excuse-moi, Monsieur Baudouin, parce que votre équipe de couleur bleue travaille vraiment fort pour nous. Les décisions faites par les têtes de conseil, peut-être c'est pas toujours dans le bon sens pour nous. I had the pleasure of meeting you on Mother's Day during the flood. You as well, Madame Costanqui. Compliment to Denise. Compliment to Linda at your front desk. Brisson. I'm old enough probably to be your mother.
I don't think so.
I have spent the entire month of February, the entire month of March, with a pickaxe and an axe. Mes voisines, on a dit, hey, c'est la madame avec l'axe encore. Yes, because je suis la seule personne sur le rue Desjardins avec le trou ouvert. Et pour garder le trou ouvert, c'est 13 pouces de glace. C'est un joke pour quelqu'un. C'est pas un joke pour moi. Parce que je n'ai pas un curb. Je savais pas le mot en français. I don't have a curb. The ground is not graded properly on Desjardins. When the water comes down the hill, it stops at my place, it comes back from the other end, and
Freezes.
not just freezes. In the rain, I have birds bathing. It's 8 feet wide. It's 20 feet long. It's as deep as my boots. 20 years of paying taxes. Could I get a curb?
The
And-
curb, sorry, if that's one of your questions?
That's one of the questions.
Okay.
And I think part of the problem this year, because you keep only referring to this year, I'm talking 20 years. This year is exceptionally bad for everybody,
Yep.
but it is exceptionally bad for the people on Desjardins because we have the honor of having the work trucks coming for the renovation Le Piscine Versailles. We have 18 and 20-wheeler trucks packing it down and packing it down. We had 9 members of our street with pickaxes to open 7 driveways because people couldn't get into their driveway. People have ripped their bumpers off. They've taken the bottom of their cars off. There's only so much.
So, Mrs. Starr, what is your question, ma'am?
When are you going to help Desjardins?
Well, well, first of all, they did the ice.
Yeah,
You see,
last week, yes,
right.
they did the ice.
And there are some streets, as you heard from a gentleman earlier, that haven't been done yet. And there are some streets that won't be done for another week. For example, the border that you're talking about, whether you have a curb or not, like I don't have a curb. I have a curb, for example, and I have a good 8 inches to get into my driveway because my street was done recently and my driveway is a good 8 inches higher than the street was. So I get in because I have a larger vehicle. But my daughter, who has a smaller car, sometimes has trouble, so she has to run into it. So I had to go out, if I can explain, with a bit of snow and create a little ramp, if you
Yeah,
will,
people
for,
tried
for,
that.
for myself to get in. So I understand the problem. The issue of you having your driveway higher, there's nothing that we can do for that because the street is the priority for us. The driveway, I don't know if you have a contractor that does your driveway,
Yeah.
but the contractor, my contractor couldn't get my driveway down to the asphalt or to the pave. He left it the way it was. It froze too fast for him to come back. It created the issue that we all have on our driveways today. And then when the city goes by, it creates that sidewalk, if you will, that you have to go up over. We understand that. There are
Then-
people that have told us that they've put salt. There are people that have told us that they've put snow to create a little ramp. They've been pretty creative, I have to tell you, in the way that they've built this up so that they get into their driveways. But there's nothing that we could have done because you can't shave the ice on an angle like that.
Regardless, why then does Versailles Street look like you cleaned it with a feather duster?
Well, Versailles, you have to understand, there are some streets that are priority streets. There are some streets that have a lot more
My-
traffic on them.
my
No, but you have a
point.
lot of streets that have a lot more traffic on them. And the way that the salt works, for example, is like on our driveway. I could pour a bag of salt on my driveway. It's just going to sit there. If I don't go over it 1,000 times with my car, it's not gonna react with the ice to melt it. Without getting technical, the ice needs to break down with the salt, but there has to be traffic that goes over it in order for that to happen. It won't happen otherwise. And so the smaller streets, like yours, like mine, like most of ours actually on council even, aren't main roads. And so there isn't the amount of traffic that you need to break, even though we're putting double the amount of abrasives, it isn't enough. There isn't enough traffic for the ice to break down with the salt. That's one of the major issues. And not to mention the type of winter that we've had. These crews have been going around continuously breaking the ice, but it's causing now this additional issue that we have for folks that can't get into their driveways properly. So we understand that. And if this has been a recurring problem on Desjardins, in terms of the sewer, for example, in terms of the slope, how it collects in that area, that's something that Madame Castonguay can look at. That's right. And so that's something we need to address, because this can't be a recurring thing. The ice is something that, unfortunately, we've had to deal with this year.
And that's great. So aside from the ice and this year, I would like to have the confidence of somebody on this esteemed staff to tell me that Desjardins, in general, and my situation in particular, will be addressed this year. It's 20 years. I pay my taxes. I'm treated like less than equal. So I'd like some help.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Starr, for coming. And again, the services have noticed, and whatever they've addressed to date, they have, and whatever we do as we move forward, we're going to make sure that we try to do whatever we can for you. The other thing you have to understand is the ice removal that we do on the streets sometimes can take 3 hours to do 100 meters.
Oh,
So
I watched
the job
for
you know what it
days,
is,
for
right?
days
It's
and
a
days.
massive
Yes.
undertaking. And I was just confirmed that Versailles Street is a P1, which is it's an artery, which means that is a street that will be done. Like example, where I live, my side street and Madame Leroux, we live next to each other. The side street where I live is a P3, and the main street, which is 100 meters, not even 50 meters from my house, is down to asphalt.
So was it Monsieur Langevin that it confirmed it's a P3?
No, my director.
I'm sorry. So I'd like then to know, what rating does Desjardins have?
Well, it's a P3. It's a residential.
Then
it's a
you need to
P3.
change it, because everybody else that's a P3 didn't get flooded in 2017.
Well, if the flooding is another issue, and that's what's
No,
being
no,
addressed,
we're
but that's
gonna-
what's being addressed is what I'm telling you, Mrs. Starr. And if Madame Castonguay already knows of your file, we're going to review it this week, and we're going to look at what we can do to try to correct that. But this water collection of where you are, it doesn't sound normal to me. So, and this is the
isn't.
first I hear about it. We've spoken before about it.
Yes, we
We've spoken
have.
before briefly about it, but now that the services are again
And I have
reminded
to-
of it.
And I'll just add one more thing,
Yeah.
if I may. There's a young gentleman who Madame Castonguay knows, who did make an attempt and came with asphalt, but all that does is spread it further. And
I
no
get it.
kidding, it's
I get it.
20 feet by
I get
8
it. Mrs.
feet.
Starr, I get it. And I appreciate you waiting till this time to pose your question.
Thanks so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Monsieur Leslie Murphy.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.